All right, we're hoping this is working here. Come on, there we go. Gotta love updates right before you go live, right? Alright, we're gonna get this show kicked off in a moment. Hang out with me here. Go live, Facebook. Here we go. Like my new music? I picked this out for you guys. Okay. Alright, open up our comments. Whoop! Not Twitter. We're not on Twitter. If you're just joining, we're gonna kick this show off in just a second here. Oop. Okay, and we get our comments. There we go. Let's do this. Yes! Make sure these are working. Thank goodness. Hi, Marcus. Hello, Amy. All right. You guys. All right, perfect stopping point. All right, we'll save that song right here for later. Okay, hello, my name is Lynn CLEMENTI-HICKS. I tried to do an update to my Stream Deck right before this, and it's not cooperating. So, we're skipping the intro. We're skipping the titles. Nope, here, hold on, I got you. Boom. My name's Lynn CLEMENTI-HICKS. It's been almost a full year of doing this channel, and on today's episode, not only am I going to be telling you what's happened in the past week like I usually do, I'm going to do an overall kind of summary of what we've been through on our fertility journey this year alone. And guys, it's blowing my mind. It's when I stop to think about how much we did this year, I'm like, I can't believe we crammed that all in. And then I'm going to finish it off, and hopefully you guys will join in with me. I love doing this, thinking about, you know, the year, the coming year, and what we plan to do, what we hope to do, what we hope not to do. And I want this to be a conversation. I would love to hear from you guys. There's so much to catch up on. So let's real quick first give you a health update here. So last Monday, if you hung out with me, you knew I was feeling pretty bad. And you might hear it in my voice, my nose a little bit. It's not, I'm fine. I am fine. I have like a tiny bit of congestion. It is nothing to be alarmed about. I didn't know what was going on. I told you like on Monday that I had taken a COVID test and it was negative. On Tuesday, Bert was still feeling pretty bad, so he went and took a COVID test and unfortunately came back positive. So we kind of had a little freak out, and it ended up causing us to cancel holiday plans with the family and kind of reinvent Christmas this year. And we're postponing, we're doing Christmas with the family on January 1st. I also meant that pretty much nobody at my office could go to work because we were all, I guess, in the same boat. I think we all picked it up from the holiday party, possibly. We don't know for sure, but some other people from the office also tested positive. So it was very interesting last week. I have not been to the office since, like, oh my gosh, before the Christmas party. So a week and a half ago. Spent a lot of time at home. Spent a lot of time with the cats. Officially, my quarantine should be over Wednesday, but the CDC just came out like an hour ago and said now the recommended quarantine time is only 5 days. Go figure. Whatever. Here's my thoughts on this, guys. First of all, let me know. Have you been tested positive for COVID? In the comments, if you feel comfortable sharing. And I'd love to just chat about this real quick because from an outsider's perspective, COVID is a very scary thing. And I think the newest variant, which is currently the Omicron, it's not, I guess, as dangerous as the previous variants. and I'm not a doctor, so please, this is just my observation of everything. Omicron is spreading like wildfire here, especially in Chicago. I don't know, if apparently you're passing it on before you even know you have it, and that's how it's spreading so quick. And then I also read articles that it's passing through or on to people who have been particularly vaccinated or have had COVID before, because apparently it's like latching on to like the little bit that's in you and then you've got it. I don't know. Bert and I had the same symptoms, and he tested positive. I tested negative twice and on my PCR. And then he gets his PCR test back. The same time he took his rapid, he did the PCR, and it came back several days later that was negative. So guys, here's the point, is like, I don't even know what to believe anymore. Obviously, I believe COVID is real. This is a real thing. It is something that we do need to be careful about. We do not want to intentionally spread this. But it's taken me through a roller coaster. And this is the part I'd love to know if this happened to you too, if you've been through COVID. Do you have these feelings like, oh shoot, who else did I pass this on to before I found out that I've got it? Second is, oh my God, am I going to die? Because obviously for a long time, COVID was very, very dangerous and, causing people with especially pre-existing conditions or maybe not the best health to get very, very sick. And so I was worried, hey, I get colds really easy. And am I one of these people with pre-existing conditions? Am I going to be okay? I had a panic. I really did. I was like, am I going to end up in the hospital from this? I'm fully vaccinated. I have both my shots. I'm not boosted yet. I do plan to be boosted, but it was a this huge pardon my bad language, but whole mind fuck of like, well, finding out that you possibly have COVID, and then what's going to happen after that, and then finding out that possibly you didn't have COVID after all. It's extremely confusing, and you would think, after it kind of all unraveled, and we're a week out from when all this we found out that we were sick and that we had possibly been exposed and that we have to quarantine. And after you finally accept that you're going to be quarantining for Christmas, and it's just going to look different this year. To me, being on the other side of it, I'm not scared of, I'm not like worried anymore, for my own safety. I am not going to go out there before, the recommended time and, go be like, oh, mask off and pass it on to anybody else. But it's not as scary as I thought it was a week ago. You can ask my mom. I called her totally freaking out. Bert wasn't putting up with my whining anymore. He's like, call your mom. She'll deal with it. Marcus, thank you. It is stressful. And the stress of all the worry is not worth it, first of all. Just like all the other things I worried about this year, is it worth it? No. It's, and it doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it, it doesn't help you recover faster. In fact, it might have made me feel sicker because of all the stress. So I want to say, if you're going through this and you're having these feelings of fear and anxiety, and are you spreading it, and are you contagious, and all this other stuff that comes with it, you are not alone. And it is like the biggest message has been on my channel. But these feelings that you are having are totally normal. And if I can give you one piece of advice, is it's, just keep on riding this wave. It is going to be okay. You are going to feel better. Elliot is watching. Yep, Elliot. I don't even think that we ended up telling you that we also, because we were supposed to go bowling with Elliot, and then he's like, I gotta cancel, and then we just kind of accepted that, because not even a day later we found out we would have had to cancel too. I was boosted, very mild symptoms, especially one bad day, and then recovered. Looking forward to being done with quarantine. Same. So Elliot, I think you'd be out of quarantine already if you go by the new CDC guidelines that just came out of an hour ago. Oh, Dad, thank you for sharing this. The two tests look for different things, so that partially explains the different results. I did not know that. I did not hear about that, so thank you for explaining why. That would be why Bert had a positive rapid test and then a negative PCR test, somewhat, maybe. Marcus had it, was mild for me. Vaccinating really helps, 100%, I agree. I had about 2 to 3 days where I was real sick, and it could have honestly been a very bad cold, but when I looked at the list of symptoms for Omicron, I was quite convinced that's definitely what I had. I have talked to other people who had about the same amount of time, 2 to 3, bad days where you're feeling very feverish, hot and cold, fatigued, things that would come along with like any other cold or flu that we're already pretty used to from years of living. Oh, okay, Marcus, this is helpful too. My doctor said if the rapid test is positive, you probably have it even if PCR is negative. Yeah, so we're definitely treating it like we had it. It's, I don't know. Now we can just say that we did it. We lived through it. And I have also read, I don't know if you guys have read this or believe this to be true, is something that you kind of latch on to news that you think will kind of help you out a little bit. But if you've been vaccinated and then you got Omicron, apparently you now have super immunity. Who knows if it's true? This is what the scientists are saying, but they're saying that you are 1,000% more protected than you were if you were just vaccinated and did not have Omicron. But maybe they're just saying that to make the millions of us that are getting Omicron in the past week or two feel better. Who knows? I don't know. Oh my gosh, Marcus lost his smell. It's luckily it is back. It's a weird thing if you smell nothing. And this was another really neat thing. This week I heard about a woman who actually wrote a book because I don't know if she lost her smell or she was inspired by all the people losing their smell, and how you can actually train yourself to be a better smeller. And not necessarily if you've completely lost your smell, and it will start to come back, but how significant that sense is to us. And so it's very fascinating when we think about taste and smell and how important those senses are when we don't even think about it on a day-to-day basis. Oh man. Yep. And Laura, I had it back in March and had a couple bad days, and then that was it. But the smell and taste are still not 100% back. This is a thing with the Omicron. Apparently, you don't lose your smell and taste, and I'm very, very thankful for that. But I've heard a lot of other stories, just like Laura's, where people are still don't have it back quite the way it used to be before they lost it. And one person in particular, when she started to get her smell back, she could only smell good things, which isn't, you would think, oh, that's a good thing. It's not necessarily a good thing when you're trying to figure out if the food in your fridge is, good or bad, and you need that sense of smell to tell you, rotten or not. Things like that, or if your house stinks, or if there's a sense of, if there's a fire or something and you can't smell the smoke. That's like, we rely on these senses for survival sometimes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, exactly. Marcus, I didn't realize before how much we rely on smell. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so good news is we're feeling a lot better. And Kristen's saying, yeah, the first taste my husband got back was spices. It's so fascinating to hear how our tastes start to come back, and like when you have that very first smell after you haven't been able to smell in a while, or that first taste when you haven't tasted in a while, like how memorable that will be, for a long time. Wow. Yep, and I've heard this too, is that it's the opposite. You smell more bad stuff when everyone else says something's good. Yeah, when everyone else says it's good. Yeah, I've heard that a lot too, Laura. Yeah, that it's you don't just get your smell back. It's like good or bad. Yeah. Yes, that's what my friend said too. I was paranoid about smelling bad at home. Yeah, like someone walks in or you don't realize that you got some BO or something, and someone's like, "Ooh, what's the matter with you?" But that is what it is. You just gotta. It comes with the territory, I suppose. It's funny that we can laugh about it now. I hope we're all laughing about this a little bit right now. Sicknesses aside, Bert and I, we hunkered down, we quarantined for Christmas. I don't want to tell you guys, I don't want to paint a picture that Bert and I had the best, most quarantined Christmas ever, because there was definitely a day or two in there we wanted to kill each other. And I say this with a smile on my face because it was just like, I don't know why we woke up one morning and we were both being just jerks to each other, just giving each other a really hard time, doing things that we knew would irritate the other person. And there was like no end to it. There was like, no, you stop first. No, you stop first. I don't know if like we just like woke up irritated that we were like, we had to stay home together. But that was not how it was the entire time. It was just that day or two that morning, and we shook it off. But guys, it is when I talk about our relationship, sometimes I think I kind of I tell you in a way we have a great relationship, but it is not always that way. That is very true. Okay, so next thing, I would love to hear about your Christmas. So tell me what's the best thing that you got this year. I want to hear it. I am so like this. It makes me so excited to hear what people are happy that they received, because sometimes it's the most simple thing. It's not always the most expensive thing or the biggest thing. Sometimes it's just like what was most special, or what was the most thoughtful, or something that you were really hoping and you got it. Let's hear it. I would love to hear, what did you get for Christmas, the best thing? And maybe you haven't even thought about it until this moment. So let me know in the chat. I want to know. And we are going to share this stuff because it's fun. And I obviously can't wait to tell you guys. I wanted this so bad. I got this from Bert, and I put it on my Christmas list, but he had already gotten it before I put it on my list because he knew just from me talking about it. So this is from the the live streaming community that I'm part of. I've talked about them a lot there throughout the year, but Live Streaming Pros has been a huge influence on me starting this channel. Honestly, no, it is the influence on how I started this channel, because I didn't even know live streaming was a thing until I joined the community. I am so proud of the community we've built here, the things that we talk about, the support we give each other, and all that is because of this community of streamers and the inspiring people that have latched onto my channel. So I am very proud to be a live streamer. I am proud that I show up every Monday and you guys come and join me when you can. And I am very proud to own this sweatshirt now that tells the world I am a streamer. Bert got me a t-shirt that says I go live too. So I'm very excited to show that off as well. But yeah, so this was one of my favorite Christmas gifts. And I'm going to share, okay, get a box of tissues. This one's going to make you cry. Okay, and I have to take my headphones out for a second. It's behind me on the wall, but I'm going to go grab it and make it, oop, my ear thing came off in my ear. I'm going to go grab it so that you can see a little bit closer, but this is another gift from Bert. Oh my God, my hair's a mess. Guys, bear with me here while you're typing in what you got for Christmas. I'm going to grab my painting. Okay, so this is super special. Bert and I went to Sedona in August, and we spent some time on one of the red rocks. I think it was Bell Rock, and we spent time just sitting there and thinking about our journey. And most importantly, that was when we took time, just the two of us, to sit in silence and mourn the loss of our miscarriage, of the baby that I was carrying. We took a picture from behind. It was a timed picture from my phone, but he took that picture and sent it in and had someone paint it. This is a real painting. He had a real artist do this. Let's see here. Can you see this? All right. All right, I think you got the idea here. Sorry, I'm going to turn my lights back up. Oh my gosh. This is, we got this. Okay, this is going back on the wall. Okay, so that was super special. I feel like I'm bleached out over here. I'm sorry. There we go. So I don't think that's going to live on the wall behind me forever. But it's going to be, I think, displayed somewhere in our living room. But it's a very, very special gift. Coincidentally, I gave him a framed, it was like had multiple pictures on it from that same exact trip, but not that picture. It was from the Grand Canyon, a series of pictures that I just thought really reminded me of that trip that we met up with friends and everything, but he and I also had a very spiritual, I don't know if spiritual is the right word, but quiet, inward looking, time together where we can really think about what everything means, So anyway, I'm gonna check these comments here real quick. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Laura. It is so beautiful. And when, when he gave it to me, I'm like, wait, someone painted this? Like, is this like one of those Photoshop things where it looks like it's a painting? No, he actually had someone paint it. And that to me was so much even more special because he saw that moment and he shared with me when he gave it to me, the painting, that how important that moment was to him. And it was beautiful. And when he gave it to me, we shared tears, and it's the significance behind the gift that is the real gift. What a wonderful gift, yeah. Elliot's saying, Bert, you asshole, stop showing us all up. Bert is an amazing gift giver, and most of the time. I mean, there's definitely been years where it was a little not as good, but he's actually a very, very thoughtful gift giver. He can really kind of dial into what somebody's interests and likes are and nail it. It's awesome. Thank you. Very special moment captured. Well done, Bert. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you. Let's check in with what you guys got. And hey, Sammy, I don't know if you're still here, but I see that you said hi. And Marcus, yes, I love this community. Marcus and I met through the streaming community, and it is, yes, it's extremely meaningful community. All right. Okay, let's see what you guys got for Christmas. Okay, Kristen said, my in-laws got my husband and I gift cards to go to a resort in Galena. That is awesome. Nice little trip. That's, and for Kristen and her husband, that is super special because they're also trying to start their family. And Kristen, I've always been open about your stuff because you've always allowed me to. So hope you don't mind me sharing that they did their transfer, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that everything sticks. So sticky thoughts to Kristen. That is my Christmas wish for you. And I hope that that gift certificate is maybe a baby moon or something super special. Okay. All right, and Elliot, who was also quarantined for Christmas, not a gift, but using quarantine to try and row 100K in a week, 60K down with 3 days to go. I'll get there, but tougher than I expected. You're incredible, Elliot. You're a very driven person. When you set your mind to something, it's really awesome to watch how you've stuck with this rowing, and it's making you so awesome. Fit and mentally, and it's something that you have really taken up, and it's inspiring, really. Amy saying, I told the kids I wanted them to go to 9 o'clock Christmas church service and a few new pictures. We did the pictures of us all with the timer. Yeah. We do this with my family too, and it's always a Christmas joke because every year, for some reason, we have to relearn how to use the timer on the camera. I don't know, but it's funny, and it turns out okay. Shouldn't be that hard. Laura's saying my family came in from Florida, and I got many awesome things, including Bob's shoes, crocheted scarves for my mom, and a new light-up controller for the Nintendo Switch. Solid! Oh my gosh, handmade items are always a win. Almost always, right? Like crocheted scarf, you're never gonna throw that scarf away. I mean, unless, something really horrible happens to it, like don't drop it in a mud puddle. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, no, crocheted. Okay. Sidebar. When I was quarantined, I decided I'm gonna teach myself how to crochet by watching YouTube videos. like and subscribe. And guys, I've already nailed 3 stitches. I'm so proud of myself. So Bert, actually, he's very supportive of this because I think he thinks if I'm crocheting, he can play Minecraft. But he got me a few crochet hooks and some yarn so I could do a new project. I'm excited. It's always nice when people like the gifts we give them, so that's awesome. The kids seem to like the gifts you got them, Amy. It's such a good feeling, right? My mom is the best gift receiver I know. You could give her, like, a rock wrapped up in, tissue paper, and she'd be like, I love it! It is so me! I've wanted this. Maybe she wouldn't say I've wanted this forever, but like, I'm going to take such good care of this. Thank you so much. And you just sometimes I'm like, wait, Mom, is this all an act? But I think she just genuinely loves receiving gifts, and I don't know. I think it's so special, and it's so special how she expresses it. I'm pretty sure that I just I made that a little, probably if you gave her a rock and tissue paper, maybe she wouldn't react like that, but you get the point. Okay. Marcus is saying the best thing about my Christmas was that we were together. Oh, way to rub it in, Marcus. Okay, you got to be together. I'm teasing. Because it was the first time I didn't take it for granted that everyone is still around. Okay, I should have read the whole comment first before I said that. Oh my God, Marcus, that is a very wonderful observation to make, especially because, the past 2 years, we've learned a lot about loss, right? In our families and the other things that we can't have, or the things that we think we're going to have and then are taken from us. So what a beautiful thing, a beautiful gift for Christmas, to look around and really appreciate what you have. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's an excellent thing that I hope I keep in mind when I see my family this Sunday, and I look around and I really, truly appreciate that we're all together. Oh, Laura. Oh my gosh. The hugs I got on Christmas were the best for me. I miss being with my family, and it was so wonderful to be surrounded by people who love you. Yeah, hugs in real life. Oh, feels so good. It's going to feel great after these 10 days of just being with Bert. I mean, we've been hugging each other, but sometimes hugging others is just really nice. And Laura's saying, other Laura, my sister-in-law also gave us an early Christmas present in November of our dogs drawn with color pencils from an artist that's local to us. One of them was our Chihuahua that passed away a few years ago. That's super special. Wow. With bringing in the local artist and remembering a Chihuahua that passed. I mean, that's, good job, sister-in-law. Very good. All of these, I love this. Thanks, guys, for sharing in this with me. My mom, she's saying it's not an act. It's not an act. She genuinely loves receiving every gift she gets. It's wonderful. Oh, we're getting together Saturday? Oh, thank you. I might have shown up on the wrong day. Thank you, Mom, for telling me that. I would have figured it out. Might have been 35 minutes late when you guys said, Lynn, where are you? Teasing. Okay. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Look at all the different things that we received, all the different experiences we had, and how special they were. It's such a wonderful reminder to appreciate the things that we have. I love it. Okay. My cheeks are starting to hurt. Let's keep moving on. Okay. Now, what did I want to talk about? I want to do a review, just an overview. I'm not going to go into super detail here, but if anybody's watching my channel for the first time or has only been here occasionally, I'm going to give you why this year on this channel has been so important. Guys, I've almost been live streaming on this channel for an entire year. I think it was January 23rd is going to be the official anniversary. I do intend to update the name of this channel to better, so that it better fits the future of it, where, what our intentions are. And here's what I mean. It's currently called Baby Talk. 2021, we were sure by this time we would be pregnant or maybe even have a baby. Okay. it didn't happen. And I can tell you, we are not pregnant this year. 100%. I'm on my period right now. Like, it is not happening. There is no chance Lynn and Bert will be conceiving a child that will be born in 2022 from this year. Okay. I'm going to give you a review of everything we've been through. And then as I'm doing this, maybe think about everything you've been through this year too, the journey you've been on, okay? And stop to think about, when you've thought about it, when we go through this real quick, we're going to think about next year with that all in mind. So when I first started streaming, we were getting ready for an IUI transfer. IUI has worked for so many of my friends. I was super optimistic with our good health. All we needed was just a little help with timing. Tell me when my follicles are ready. Let's trigger, put that sperm in. Let's do this. It didn't work. It was devastating. So we tried again because sometimes it's the second try that works. Didn't work. So we went on to IVF. IVF, you think it's going to go in X amount of time, and it doesn't go that way. It doesn't go as planned. So many of the people that I reached out to, that I connected with because of IVF, will tell you very similar stories. It's never, okay, yeah, you're going to take these shots, we're going to do this thing, and it's going to work on the first try every time. I have heard far fewer cases of that happening than I've heard of people that have to try multiple times or go through the heartache of getting that positive and then it not working out. So IVF for us was a much longer process than we anticipated. And when it finally did go through, first of all, I do want to say we did get lucky. We got one embryo out of the, I think it was 11 eggs retrieved. I think it was 11 or 13. Maybe 14, there were a bunch mature, 6 or 7 mature, and then in the end, we only ended up with one viable, poor quality embryo. And we transferred that embryo, frozen transfer, and we were heartbroken when it didn't take. The next cycle, after that failed IVF, it was a surprise to all of us. We got pregnant naturally. It was probably the most exciting singular moment of the entire year for me. To see that, I can still so vividly remember how much I was shaking, how much I was in shock, how it didn't feel real. And the hug, the embrace that Bert and I had in that moment when we had that positive pregnancy test. It was incredible, unforgettable. And we did all the things, we got it checked out. We got to see the beautiful moment where we saw the heartbeat on the monitor. We got to hear it. Everything was going great. And then, like so many other people on their first pregnancies or early pregnancies, and not even first pregnancies, unfortunately we lost it to miscarriage. It stopped growing around about 7 weeks, 5 days. And we didn't find out until about 10 weeks and change. So we had what was called a miscarriage, and it was a very, very hard thing to go through on an individual level and also as a couple. You really wonder what you did wrong. There's a lot of doubt, a lot of guilt, a lot of I don't know if shame is the right word, but there's a lot of feelings that come along with miscarriage, and it doesn't all come right at the beginning. It is delayed. It comes after you've gone through the physical processing of that miscarriage, which is extremely painful. But the most amazing thing that came from that was an incredible amount of support from our friends, from strangers, from this channel, from people in the fertility community. And the whole reason that I'm bringing all this up again really is to remind you guys that I'm just one case here, and I have been lifted up by so many people, and that's because I am so outspoken about our journey. There are so many women that go through this very quietly, privately, and couples that go through it quietly and privately that don't get that support because they're not interested in sharing their story. And I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong way to do it. We're very fortunate that we have all that support, but I hope anyone that's listening and that is going through it quietly and privately, please know that you're so far from being alone. You did nothing wrong. And no matter what, it's going to be okay. So we went through a miscarriage. Honestly, it was, I feel like that was a turning point in our career, in our journey this year. That happened around August. And I spoke earlier about how we went to Sedona and reflected on it. We took some time with friends. We went to the Grand Canyon and did what we love, hiking and being outdoors. But also I stopped working out as regularly as I was before. And I gave up on all the supplements and all the strict eating and everything that I had been doing before. And, there was a time where I was very ashamed, oh man, I really let go. It's like I don't care anymore. But now that I'm sitting here at the end of the year and I'm thinking back on all of this, that part seems less important than everything else, combined. The healthy eating is important, not overdoing it with alcohol and all the other things that, can affect your health. Your mental health, and your fertility. Moderation is key. They say that all the time. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. And we told ourselves, yeah, sure, we're healthy, we're doing it right, but we also at the same time put ourselves through the stress of restrictions. So who knows? We got pregnant when we had pizza and started drinking wine and beer again. And they say that, when you stop trying, it happens. Now, it took a while for my cycle to get back on track. That's normal with a miscarriage. I recently, and the miscarriage I went through naturally, I should say, and it took even longer. Usually if you're going through for a DNC or if you do a medicated miscarriage, you might be able to get back on track with your cycles a little quicker. Unfortunately, we had to go through it naturally, and I was dead scared to go back to the doctor after that. I put off going back for the checkup to see if everything was cleared out. Now I know things are, cleared out and we're okay. We should, in theory, like so many people do, get pregnant again, within a few months. This is what they say, after a miscarriage, you usually get pregnant again fairly quickly. So that kind of brings us to where we are now. At the time that we started going through the miscarriage and even after IVF and even before that, fostering was kind of always in our mind as an option for how to grow and start our family. I don't know that we would have been pushed to get to fostering if we hadn't had the miscarriage. We can't, who knows? But the important thing is that we are started on that process. So that brings us to where I'm looking forward to for 2022. So we're still trying naturally to get pregnant. I don't intend to do IVF again. The amount of stress that it caused, the ups and downs, the hormones and all the things that you go through with that, for me is not a fit to do it again. It's incredible, the women that do decide to do it multiple times in order for it to be successful. There's no right or wrong. Everybody is different. Everybody's different. It's part of this whole thing, right? Okay. So 2022, I can't wait to, for sure, welcome somebody into our home that needs to be shown love. And I don't know if it'll become a long-term thing. There's a lot of uncertainty with bringing in children for fostering. And I have no idea if it's going to be a baby, a small child, an adolescent. We have no idea. Boy or girl, multiple kids, one kid, we have no idea. But all I know is from everything this year that we've been through, we are more than prepared to take on the unknown. We are more than prepared because we know that there's probably going to be disappointment. And I think if you can expect the good and the bad, then you are fully prepared to take anything on, right? If you go into something thinking, oh, only the best is going to happen, or this is going to work for me, and you completely leave out the possibility of something going incredibly wrong, or unexpected surprises. Anything. Aren't all surprises unexpected? Okay. But all things, are not going to go the way that you think that they are. So I have really started to think, for 2022, I hope that fostering works out. And even that in itself could completely backfire. Who knows? But I am going into this thinking that there is going to be something in our, that we bring in some love into this home. We don't bring love into this home. This home has love. We are going to bring in someone to give that love to. And I don't know what that looks like. And I am okay with that. So tell me, guys, what is it that what is your 2022? Something that you know is going to happen, but you have no idea what it's going to look like. What's that for you? What do you hope that's going to be? Is there something so certain? And even when I'm saying this, I don't know for certainty that we will actually foster, but that this is what I hope. This is what I hope. And maybe if it's not a foster, maybe we will get pregnant and maybe we will have a baby by this time next year. But gosh, I know in my heart there's going to be love in this house. Continued love in this house. Oh, Behind Lynn's Bangs, new show title. I love it. That's brilliant because my mind is behind them. But also I would have to grow my bangs down to cover my heart too, so that my heart could also be behind my bangs. Because that's a lot of what's on this show too, is what's in my heart. All right, did I lose you guys? Let me know. Are you thinking about what your goals are? Not goals. Let's not call them goals. What your hope is for 2022, if there's one thing. Hope I'm not missing anything here. Okay. I think I might have lost a few people, but it's okay. If you don't need to share here. This is not a contest. We are not comparing what our goals are for 2022. We are sharing to, just like our Christmas gifts, how meaningful such different things can be, right? Anyway, if you guys don't want to share, that's okay. And if you are watching in the replay and want to share in the comments, I think seeing what everyone else is thinking about for the next year, even if it's something super simple, something super elaborate, something very specific or vague, it does not matter. But just seeing the assortment of things kind of just makes us appreciate our own world and our own unique support. Oh my gosh. Oh, Marcus, Merry Christmas. Thank you for this beautiful stream. Marcus, you are so beautiful. Thank you so much. And it's perfect timing because our porch cats need more cat food. So that's going to be put to very good use. Oh, here's a good one. My dad is saying, would love to travel again. Yes, you guys, my parents have gone on vacations every year. And I know the past 2 years they haven't been able to. I'm supposed to go to Mexico in February. We'll see, for a conference. We'll see if this happens. We will see. I am super immune now, so supposedly. All right. You guys, I'm going to wrap up this. I think I said everything that I wanted to. I'm looking around because I meant to make notes for today, but I didn't. It's been a wonderful year. I am really excited to continue the story in 2022, to continue supporting you in whatever your journey is, and also to continue sharing and inspiring. Oh, I do remember, there is one more thing. Do you guys ever feel like when you're going through something and and I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but that where you see something on TV or you hear something on the radio or you pick up on some lyrics that just seem like they're like the universe talking to you. Does this happen to you guys? Today when I was working, I had the radio on and they did a story about fostering, and man, it was inspiring. The story was all about how the birth parents, when they get their kids back after, having someone else foster them for a little while, and they finally get back on their feet and they're finally able to take their kids back home, the government is hitting them with a bill to cover some of the expenses of fostering. They talked about this one mom who got her kids back, and she had just, figured things out enough to bring them home. And then the government sent her a bill for $19,000. I am completely shocked by this. Like, this is a service that our government is providing for the well-being of our society, for the children of our society. And then, they're knocking down someone while they're already down, or someone that has worked their butt off, to try and get things back on track. And then they're making it even harder for them to stay on track. And I don't understand how this is an oversight by our government. This has to be something they don't realize they're doing, because I just can't believe that they're doing it on purpose. Apparently it's, state to state. And this all started back, I think there was a bill in the 60s that was passed where the federal government said, hey, we're going to help the state governments pay for child services, or family and child, DCFS basically. And they said, okay, great. So then some time passed, and the federal government, I guess, ran out of funds or whatever, and the state said, well, how are you going to pay for this? And the federal government said, well, ask the families for it. Instead of us, paying for it, ask the families. And apparently that's how it's been. And now DCFS spends, not only they're trying to help these kids, but they also have to dedicate time to trying to recoup funds from families, which doesn't make sense. The investment of time that they're putting in, they said, for every dollar that they're investing in trying to recoup money from the families, they're only getting 27 cents back out of that. It doesn't make sense. So, okay. Now, this is all me repeating back to you what I heard today. I am going to look into this because even though I'm new to this whole fostering thing, I think there is room for me to try and make some noise. If it's here on this channel, like talking to you guys about it, getting more stories, bringing in guests, exploring this. I mean, somebody has to be advocating for these families. And if I'm not a political person or anything like that, but maybe this is the purpose of the channel. Maybe that's where this journey is going. So I hope that I can use my voice for good. And it's a very sad thing to hear how some of these things are broken in the system. And I do hope that by sharing we can help fix it. So I would love to hear your stories if you have any insight on any of this, or people that you think would be good guests to talk to about this. But this is going to be something I think I'm really starting to feel a fire of passion about fostering and how important it is to the children and their families. And as bad as I want it to result in us growing our family, I think the most important thing is that these children should be reunited with the right parents for them. So if that's a new set of parents or their actual parents, these children deserve a chance to be loved, right? Okay. All right. Let's one last this. I know this is a long episode. I feel like I've been doing short ones lately, so you guys are getting a goodie for the last episode of 2021. All right. Amy's going to Phoenix in March. Woo! Awesome. Okay. Laura is saying we are definitely still aiming to naturally get pregnant after having several failed IUIs. We're not sure if we will do more of those, but we don't think we can afford IVF and don't want the stress. So fair enough on the stress for IVF. If you do feel like cost is the only inhibitor for IVF, do know that there are grants out there. There are programs. that if you can't afford it, there are ways to actually go through with that if you feel like that's like the absolute, only way that you can achieve your goal. So do know that it's out there. Thank you, Laura. Happy New Year to you too. Oh, Kelly. This is, when the universe is talking to you. Oh, this happened as you were driving home from dropping off your dog just days before he passed away. Yeah. Oh, Striker. Rest in peace, Striker. As barky as you were, we all loved you. Yeah, it is incredibly sad to hear that these parents, they're getting kicked when they're down. It's not fair. It's not fair at all, Laura. I agree. Oh, Marcus, thank you. Stop. You're gonna make my head explode. I honestly would not do this without you guys. So you guys are my inspiration. Thank you so much for joining in the conversation, for watching live, for just being part of this. I know I thank you all the time, but honestly, I mean it so, so much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit better at just spitballing here, Dad. Not spitballing, but rambling, as you will. My dad, for my first few episodes, so shout out to my parents, right? They've watched every single episode. Mine is like a couple too, a couple that they watch in the replay. They've always been here live. And with such wonderful feedback too, even if it's like, yeah, you've rambled a bit, which is my dad being honest, and it's super helpful. I'll be like, yeah, I did kind of ramble. But so his compliment, it means a lot. And my mom, when I've had a real good show, I love it. She'll put that in an email the next morning and be like, hey, good show last night. I'm like, yeah, it was, wasn't it? So thank you to Mom and Dad, for being so supportive. I hope to be as supportive of a parent to someone as you guys were to me. Kristen, I know that's your goal. I have a good feeling for you. Savita! Hello. Welcome. So, you guys, thank you so much. So much for this entire year, for the support, for being here to cry with me, to laugh with me, to watch our journey, to share yours with me. You're my inspiration, and this has been a wild ride. I never would have ever thought that this would be something that I would have spent a year doing. I look forward to continuing to do it. I'm going to sign off. My buttons are not working, so I'm not going to be able to roll credits today. But over the next few weeks in 2022, I hope to take you on a little journey with me as we kind of retool the channel a little bit, little rebranding, and kind of make sure that we're attracting more people to our supportive community here. So I hope all of your, I guess, your own personal review of 2021 and your thoughts for 2022 are, as meaningful to you as they are to me. All right, I'm going to sign off here. Thank you so much for a wonderful year, everybody. Have a safe new year. Please be healthy, and hug your loved ones. Okay. Baby dust to you, and I will see you guys in 2022. Bye. Play some music here. All right, guys. Bye. See you next year.